Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Today, we've got the live call-in show from Monday, April 21st, 2025. That's right. I missed Sunday night's live call-in show. Well, it was Easter Sunday, so maybe I got a little break there, but we did a European special on Monday afternoon, and we opened up the phone lines to talk about the release of the 2026 Walt Disney World vacation packages and the offerings that are going to be out there for on-site guests during the 2026 vacation season. So we got some great calls and talked about, the kids free dining special that's going to come right out of the gates here in 2026 and all the perks that you get to enjoy as you are an on-site guest in 2026. So see what our listeners had to say about these offerings right out of the gates and just fun Disney talk for the next hour. So hope you enjoyed today's show. Don't forget, our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney vacation. And always no additional cost to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You guys make this show happen. So thank you for being there for the show. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP open line for Monday, April 21st, 2025. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday afternoon to you. I know, right? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? We're all supposed to be working. I'm dropping in for an abbreviated European special because we have breaking news. This is one of those, hey, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the 2026 Walt Disney World package release that is imminent? It's happening tomorrow on Tuesday, April 22nd. So over the next not few minutes, but next little bit of time, we're going to talk about what's Disney has told us about Walt Disney World in 2026 as far as packages and some of the perks for staying on site for the next year when it comes at least through October of 2026. We don't know about November or December, but that's pretty typical with a package release for the next year. But as of tomorrow, not as this show releases, but as of tomorrow, we're recording this on Monday, we can start booking on Tuesday those 2026 room only and packages for guests. And so we'll be busy little beavers as travel agents, and we'd love to help you take care of that over at the Magic for Less Travel. I'd love to help you with that. And when you book a package with us here, you support the podcast. So again, please help us out, and we'd love that. Be patient. This week will be crazy, but don't worry. There's plenty of rooms. Remember, not everybody's booking your specific dates, so hang tight. You don't have to get it booked exactly on Tuesday. That room will probably still be there on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into the next few weeks. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But here's the good news. When you book a package with us at the Magic for Less for the first month, we have special booking bonuses. And this year, they're booking bonuses for folks that add a dining package. So if you add a dining package to your package in the first month through May 22nd of 2025, you do get extended booking bonus incentives. You get extra booking bonus incentives. Now, everybody gets booking bonuses incentives when you book with the Magic for Less, but if you add a dining package for the 2026 package, you get even more. So details will be with your quote. So check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. All that out of the way. Let's talk about what we know so far about 2026 packages, because everybody's been waiting. We've been over in the clubhouse. Everybody's like, when it's going to happen? When are we going to get to be able to book our 2026 rooms and packages at Walt Disney World? That's been the talk of the clubhouse over on our Discord channels. And we now know that that's going to happen on Tuesday, which when this comes out on the feed a couple of days ago, 2025. Tuesday, so that'd be April 22nd, 2025. And so what we found out, this is very, very different for us. We're getting an offer right off the top, right out of the gates, right off the jump, as they say. Typically when packages come out, no offers, standard rate, rack rate, nothing happening. Well, one of the questions that we got as far as, we played odds makers on Friday. One of the things people put in the clubhouse, what are the odds that Disney will be more aggressive as far as discounts in 2026? We didn't get to that one on the show, but it was going to be one that we did down the line. We couldn't get to everybody's. Guess what? Odds are 100% that Disney's going to be more aggressive in their offers. And because what do we get? We got an offer that, check this out, for all of 2026, right off the jump, is that kids are going to get a free dining plan for 2026 if the adults add a dining plan, guests 10 and above. If they added a dining plan to their package, boom, kids 3 to 9, they get a free dining plan to their package. So if you have kids in that group 3 to 9, you really want to think about adding a dining plan because it's free. And here's the kicker. This is something that we usually do not see with Disney, is that you are still going to remain eligible for future discounts. So this is going to be a stackable discount. So even if you add this free kids dining offer, you may still be eligible for future discounts like a room offer or an additional package offer later in 2026. We typically do not see this. So here's the wording coming directly from Disney. I'll read this and then we're going to take your calls about these things here in just a second. It says throughout all of 2026, that's pretty amazing. Throughout all of 2026, guests staying at one of our more than 25 Disney Resort hotels will get a free dining plan for their kids ages 3 to 9 when purchasing a dining plan as part of their package for other members of their party ages 10 and up. Dining plans can help guests maximize their stay with added peace of mind, letting them enjoy some of their main dining locations we offer, from meals to snacks and kid-friendly favorites. The kids' free dining plan offers can be combined with other special packages, meaning they still may be eligible to take advantage of other deals we later roll out for 2026. So again, you're still eligible if you add this for other discounts later in the year. We never see that. So that is pretty cool. Shout out also to Kim Taylor taking pictures out there at the Grand Flow right now. Shout out. Hope you're listening to great piano music in the Grand Floridian. Also, now besides the specials, let's talk about what we're going to learn about perks that you can enjoy as far as 2026 staying on site. So it says there's nothing like a visit to Disney World with so many attractions, entertainment offerings, dining, shopping, and more across our 4 theme parks and beyond. Staying at a Disney Resort hotel means being right inside the magic. With everything we offer, Walt Disney World remains the place to be for an ultimate multi-day vacation, a special occasion, or a day full of rides, food, and fun. And says get more time at the theme parks. Continuing through 2026, Disney Resort Hotel guests can enjoy more time in our theme parks with 30 minutes of early theme park entry every day at every park. This means getting a head start in the parks to check out some favorite attractions. Guests of our Disney Deluxe Resorts or Disney Deluxe Villa Resorts will also continue to have access to extended evening hours at select theme parks on certain days. So that's going to continue. Just like in 2025, all 4 theme parks will be open 30 minutes early to on-site guests. And those guests staying in the deluxe hotels and the deluxe villa hotels will have those kind of rotating evening extra hours to enjoy, which is nice. Also, there's going to be free transportation, parking, and more. So it says Disney Resort Hotel guests continue to get access to other offerings and special perks that make vacation planning easier, including complimentary theme park transportation via monorail, boat, bus, and Disney Skyliner, free standard parking at hotels, theme parks, and water parks, early access to dining reservations and lightning lanes for your entire stay, as well as advanced access to purchase tickets to select special events. Coming back in summer of 2026, Disney Resort Hotel guests can get free water park admission on their check-in day, subject to availability. Additional details, including specific dates, will be shared at a later time. So there is going to be the free water park perk on your check-in day. It says summer of 2026 in the wording, so we'll have to see about that. But that is going to come back in 2026 during the summer. And it says get even more magic at your Disney resort. So it says whether guests are taking a day off from the theme parks or simply want to relax at their hotel, there's no shortage of activities, all from the convenience of their hotel. Guests can enjoy resort activities, theme pools, character dining, and surprise character visits. When you stay at a Disney resort hotel, you're staying as close as you can be to the magic with everything you need. That includes an outstanding guest service and hospitality provided by the cast members. So you can start booking on April 22nd, which is tomorrow, as the day we're talking right now, through October 31st of 2026 for the booking dates. And we will find out about November and December of 2026 at a future date. And yeah, there you go. So those are the details. So yeah, Dennis says, doubt I can pass off my 21 and 18-year-olds as 9. I know my kids are 28 and 17, so this is going to help me out very much, but I'm super excited for those that can do it. So what do you think? Are you excited? I mean, are you surprised? What do we got here? Because we've said this. I mean, the elephant in the room is Epic Universe is getting a lot of press. It's exciting. It's an exciting time over on the other side of Orlando with all this release. I think this is making Disney be more aggressive in their release for 2026. Competition is always going to be a win-win for everybody. So I'm super excited to see that we're getting 2026 released tomorrow. We can get going on 2026 all the way through Halloween of 2026 starting tomorrow. So if you're looking at booking a trip, $200 deposit, get you in, you're set, and we get it squared away. So let's see what we got. So first caller of the day. Hey, who's joining us? Hello, caller. Who's there?
Hello. Hey, this is Abby in Indiana.
Hey, Abby. What's going on out in Indiana today?
Much, probably about similar weather to you guys. It's about 73, but it's a cold 73.
Yeah, it's chill. It's in the 50s here in Missouri, so not too warm. I had the fireplace on earlier, so same here. So what do you think about 2026? Almost time to get going.
So I think the biggest thing I noticed is a lot of these offers that came out are very resort-based.
Yes.
And I almost feel like it's a way that they're being self-aware that people are like they're going to go to Epic, but what can we do to get them to do like a Disney resort when they're doing some Universal stuff too?
That's a great observation. You're right, because maybe it's okay. You know, maybe it's Disney's fine with saying, hey, you know what? People are going to be curious about checking out Epic Universe and maybe hopping over to Universal. But you know what? Maybe come down for a week, do 5 days at Disney, a couple days at Universal, and it's a win-win for everybody. Central Florida vacation. Do you think Disney's cool with that?
What'd you say? Sorry.
No. Do you think Disney's cool with them saying stay at Walt Disney World, do 5 days in the Disney theme parks? We're fine for once with maybe hopping over to Universal for 2 days, checking out Epic, checking out maybe, Islands of Adventure, just seeing what they have.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're cool with that? Saying, 5 days here, 2 days there, but stay at our hotels and we'll call it a win.
I don't think they're exactly cool with it, but I think it's just the inevitable. So they're like, what can we do to get people still coming here? And I'm sure there's going to be people out there that are like, okay, well, if my kids can eat free when we're staying at a Disney resort, we'll just stay at the Disney resort and Uber over to Universal.
That's a good point. I mean, because the thing is, to me, is somebody who looks at the vacation, right, and been doing this for a long time, is where you lay your head, where you're staying, it's where you're going to spend your money, right? I mean, you're going to typically buy your meals there. You're going to, it's easier just to go down to the food court, or if you're staying at Coronado, maybe get a meal at Maya Grill, or check out Three Bridges because it's there. And so you're right. I mean, it's fine. If you're going to go over to Epic Universe for a day, check it out for a couple days, it's going to happen regardless. But you're right. Disney has great hotels. They have a lot of them. And Universal's building them. They have Helios. They have Cabana Bay. They have Portofino. They have great hotels over there too. Hard Rock. But I think maybe Disney's, they're not building theme parks, but what do they have? They have an inventory of really fun hotels. And if they juice up the offer at the hotels, maybe that's how they try to win the summer or try to win 2026.
And then they can really do some marketing in the hotels for what's coming to get people while they're in the lobby to see the characters popping out, and they see a model of the new Cars area or something that will hopefully be beneficial long term, get people more excited about what's coming to Disney, therefore keep them in the hook even if they were just staying at Port Orleans to visit Epic Universe.
That's a really good point. Now, so you're a huge Disney fan. You were working down there in the college program for a little bit, came back, so you were involved. So what's your level of excitement as far as what you've seen from Epic in the social media? Pam is going to be on the show later today. She just got back and did a huge preview of this past weekend. But what do you think from what you've seen as Epic? Is it a draw for you? I mean, are you a Harry Potter fan? Are you into what you've seen? What do you think?
So I did not go to Universal. I went to City Walk once, and that's the closest I got to Universal while I was living down there. There's just not really much that overly appeals to me. But seeing the pictures that have come out of Epic, and I know there's a bunch of people I worked with at Disney that went part-time Disney, part-time Universal, so they have all the preview stuff, and it looks like a next level theme park.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. It's not my thing. I mean, I tried to really get into it even back, God, this was in the early 2000s when I worked at Space Camp. Back then, we had the IMAX dome, and for one of our worker appreciation nights, they showed one of the Harry Potter movies in the IMAX dome just for the workers, right? So we got to all go to the free popcorn, free soda. We all got to watch Harry Potter, one of the movies in the dome, and everybody's pumped about it. So I'm I'm going, it was a free thing. I had no money. So I was like, this is great. At least free popcorn and nachos and soda. So I went, I was asleep in 5 minutes. God, I'm not into wizards and that kind of, that's just not my thing. And so, but here's the thing though, I see the videos and the what everybody's posting. And I will say this, Epic Universe is gorgeous. I mean, at night with the lights and the fountains, and from what I'm hearing, the background music, and I can get behind that. You know what I'm saying? And I can get behind beauty and background music and just how places look. It looks a lot kind of like Epcot at night to me. So am I curious? Would I go over? Absolutely. I would check it out. I'm not saying that I'm a purist or I would say, no, I will never step foot in that park. I will. But I'm a Disney fan first, for sure.
It's I feel the way that I kind of look at it as a Disney fan is okay, what Universal is doing is great. Disney needs to step, almost instead of looking at it from a lens of I'm excited about this for Universal, I'm looking at it from an excited hope of okay, Disney needs to be seeing this and taking it to the next level.
Yeah, and I think they will. I mean, obviously they're a business. They want to keep their customers. They want to keep their guests. And, they have a lot that they're building. They're adding a lot on to Animal Kingdom, right? With South America, with with all the Encanto stuff. And they're doing it. But what do they do in the meantime? Because they have their long-term plans, but they also have to have immediate response. And I think that's what they're doing with the 2026 release, right? They're going to, and like you said, they're focusing on hotels. Where are people going to stay when they visit Central Florida? Good point. Characters too. Characters are going to be in those hotels. I like it. So, well, hey, I hope the family's doing great out there. I know you guys are killing it with your runs, and so you signing up for Disneyland when it comes up here in the next couple weeks, or what's your Run Disney upcoming schedule looking like?
I'm signed up for Dopey, and then my mom's doing everything but the full. And then we got my sister in on the 5K, so that'll be her first Run Disney.
Is she a younger sister or older sister? I don't know the sister.
Younger. She'll be 14.
Oh my gosh, a whole nother generation out there.
So we're curious what she's going to think about it, because she is not, like, I don't really know what made her want to sign up. I think I said jokingly, would you want to do it and dress as Spider-Man? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, actually? And we're like, oh, shoot, we got to get her registered now.
Gotta be careful.
Registration day was in our favor, so.
Got to be careful when you say, do you want to run these things? Because then you got to sign them up. Be careful. But no, that'll be fun. Well, hey, yeah. I can't wait to see you down there in January, and it's always good to hear from you. So I'm proud of you. So you take care.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon, Abby.
Good talking to you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty, 407-413-9395. So I'm thinking about that, and Abby does bring up a good point, because when you go down there staying at, you're going to see Universal, you're going to see Epic, you're going to visit the Walt Disney World theme parks. Either way, you have to stay somewhere. And Disney's got awesome hotels, and that's where it's a good place to stay. All right, next call. Who do we have?
Hey, Mike, it's Mohawk Scotland, or Graham from the clubhouse.
Hey, sorry, I didn't hear who it is. Is this Mohawk? Mohawk. Oh, you were having issues with your internet, so I didn't expect to hear from you. So it sounds like you're rallying. All right, hey, and we're doing it kind of a European special this afternoon here in the States. So glad to talk to you. So what's going on?
Well, I've been thinking about this. Disney are very stat-driven, and they obviously have the numbers that tell them that bookings are going to be low for next year. They maybe even have forecasts for this year that are telling them that bookings are not where they should be, so they have to come out really, really hard and aggressive. We've seen, certainly for their international guests, they've been pushing really hard for us as well from their own packages through their travel company. Like they've been offering dining plans free for adults and kids with a stay in a Disney resort or select dates. But I think the deal that they're coming out for US guests and available through Magic for Less Travel and things like that is a lot more aggressive than I would have thought we would have seen. So they've clearly got data that's telling them that 2026 is going to be a bad year on resort for them for vacancies.
I mean, you're definitely, because we talk to each other, we see each other in the clubhouse. You're a great listener of the show. You hang out with us in our Discord. So you're probably more connected even than I am. You're really into this, and I really respect your opinions on these kind of things. So I'm glad you're on the line here for a few minutes, and I want to kind of pick your brain.
Yep.
So, because you have definitely a different perspective as an international guest. And, with there's a lot of turmoil, right, in the world right now, and a lot of uncertainty with travel, and especially international travel. And
oh, yes.
So, I think Disney's in kind of a, they're fighting a battle on more than one front, right? They're in normal circumstances, it'd be kind of like a 1-to-1 battle, right? It's us against Universal, right? And it's like, Universal's opening a new theme park. That's kind of a unique opportunity for them, and something that doesn't happen every decade or every, definitely every year. So this is definitely a unique perspective, but it's also happening in a time where, I think, from my perspective, that international guests are a little bit more leery than in, years past to travel to the States. And so there's that concern, so bookings could be soft there. So I think Disney's looking at, how do we fill all these hotel rooms? And, I think as somebody who's a business person, you look at your business and you say, what do we do well? And what can we sell? And I think Disney does hotels well. Some people might say no, but I think they have unique places to stay, and they have characters, and they have great restaurants. And I think this is right out of the gates. We don't usually see an offer, but they're offering something right out of the gates. And so I think they're doing what they can, and they can always offer more, but this is an aggressive move right out of the gates. So what do you think?
Yeah, well, I've been checking flight levels from the UK and seeing how busy they are, because you can check seats and things, and they are significantly lower at the moment going forward for the next little while till the end of the year. There's lots of gaps on the flights and lots of availability. So I think what you're saying might be happening is actually happening. So they're going to have to make up that shortfall from somewhere, and the domestic market in the States is definitely a big market that it can tap into. maybe play a bit on that nostalgia. And Disney do hotels very, very well. So if people are coming down for Epic Universe and for the Universal experience, there may not be enough capacity in the Universal resorts, which are really, really good as well. Don't bash them. Like places like Endless Summer are fantastic for the price point, but there's nothing quite like a Disney resort, is there, Mike? And once you've got people in there, it's a very easy sell to get them into your theme parks, into your other experiences like Disney Springs, because you're on the transportation network.
You're right. Okay, here's what I hear though about, okay, there's because I have stayed over at Universal too, and I will say their hotels are super nice. And Pam Forrester, who's very much like right down the middle on this, so Lowe's runs most of the hotels over at Universal, right? They're run by the Lowe's company, and they're a really good hotel company. So a lot of people will say that the Lowe's hotels are better than the Disney hotels as far as just hotel amenities and how the hotels are run, because they're a hotel company. Disney's not necessarily a hotel company. They're an entertainment company, right? They're an entertainment business, but they also run hotels. But I think that you're talking to two different kinds of people, right? I think you're talking to Disney hardcore purists, which is what I am. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, and you, and a lot of us listen to the show, to be honest. And so I think we overlook a lot of the, because I'm not a business traveler, right? So I don't see what a lot of people will see when it comes to hotel offerings. So I don't go out to Vegas. I don't travel to New York City. I don't travel to Miami, and I don't see like the perks of a lot of, really nice hotels, what you're getting, Chicago. But a lot of guests do, they see, these are kind of the standard when it comes to going to a really nice hotel. Yep. I think that when you go to Universal, you are getting some of those perks, because Lowe's does offer those type of things, because they don't just run hotels at Universal. They run hotels around the world. I know that they offer a really nice hotel down right next to our ballpark in St. Louis, a really good hotel to stay there. And, so I think that the really savvy traveler, the really business kind of type person, when they go to, say, stay at the Grand Floridian and they see that it's the, kind of the flagship hotel at Disney, and they see maybe some of the perks that you get at a super luxury business type hotel, they are a little surprised maybe you don't get this or that. But what you're getting on the trade-off, right, is that you're staying in a hotel that is a hop, skip, and a jump from the Magic Kingdom. A monorail passes right through your hotel, right adjacent to your hotel, that you can hop to the Magic Kingdom, and, you have the Disney characters. So it's not a one-to-one comparison. And so I think it's really hard to kind of compare the two things, where yes, you are missing some of those business level perks that you would get in a really high level hotel, but you also don't get the nostalgia level. You don't get the themed dining experience that you get at a place like 1900 Park Fair on site. So I don't know. What do you think about things like that?
Well, see, the thing is, Mike, that might have been an easier sell had they not got rid of things like the Magical Express and things, and the fact that you can book. You'd be able to drop off your luggage at the hotel and have it taken to MCO without you having to worry about it. I mean, those kind of things have kind of eroded the value that you get from staying at a Disney resort, and they're having to find other ways to win you back. And that's a really, really tricky ask, isn't it? When you erode these things that give you better value, you're starting at a very low level that you have to build back from, and it's going to be tough for them. But hopefully I want to see them succeed. So hopefully these deals they're doing for 2026 does that, because the last thing I want to see is the Disney company in any trouble and experiences to go downhill, because it's nostalgia, isn't it? I mean, I was looking through pictures of our trip in 1996 and 1998, and just trading on that nostalgia and thinking, wow, I can't wait to be back there in October and see what's different from then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, that is the one thing that, I mean, Disney can sell like no other company. I mean, only maybe companies like Coca-Cola or I mean, there's very few companies that I can even think off the top of my head, that can sell nostalgia. Disney's got it, but they can sell it to people like me. Because, I mean, I am all about nostalgia in every walk of my life. I love you see it like when you look at that channel in the Discord, Mike's favorite things. That's all I'm posting is things like, old Atari stuff and old, Brock's candies. And, because those were kind of the simpler times of my life. And when I see an ad from like KB Toys, not necessarily Toys R Us, but the cheaper store that I got to go to at the mall because my family didn't have, all the money. But it just, even Kmart ads, because that's where my family shopped, a lot of the time, it takes me back to a simpler time. And Disney can really sell that nostalgia, but I don't know if that play is going to work, for everybody, because I don't know if that nostalgia is going to sell necessarily on people like of my daughter's vintage, like Paige, that they're going to be the next generation that's going to be spending the money on vacations. I think that they do have nostalgia. Their nostalgia is just a different level. Their nostalgia is going to be for those things like that golden age of that kind of renaissance of Disney movies. So it'll be of those like Little Mermaid movie era,
Lion King and
Lion
stuff,
King. Yeah. And so, like basically like the VHS, clamshell movie era kind of thing. So it's going to be a different level of nostalgia, but they do have the nostalgia where, maybe Universal doesn't sell that, but Universal selling something that's more aggressive. To me, this is just my take on things. It's more of kind of an in your face, like the now, like live the moment. Like we're taking you into an intense experience where I think that Disney's selling more of a, relive your childhood, kind of a more, softer experience, that's not going to wipe you out. I think they're two different things, but I think that you can't go one way or the other too much because you'll lose too many people. I think that Disney has to have a little bit more of what Universal has, but I think Universal's missing a lot of that soft touchy feely that I think Disney's really good at too. I think they could both, kind of, if you blended them both in a blender, you'd have really the ultimate experience.
Yeah. I'll leave you with one thought, Mike, and then I'll let you get to other callers. With the economy the way it is globally and also in the States, it's going to be a tough sell to sell really expensive hotel packages and trip packages to people. So they're going to have to come in aggressive. They're going to have to do what they're doing at the moment, offer extra value. And I think that's where it's going to be. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see even more deals coming along because they've left the door open for that in the way they've worded the phrasing on this particular deal. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And who knows, we might even be contacting yourself to book something in 2026 if the deals get a little bit better and the economy gets a little bit better for us as well.
No, I'm excited. And I totally agree, right? That they never put out that kind of wording that's saying, okay, we're going to give you an offer out of the gates. They never do that for one thing. And to also say that this offer does not exclude you from future offers. They never, ever say that because it's usually typically, once you have an offer, you can improve your offer. You were never locked into an offer. If you got a better offer, then you would just give up the other offer. That's how we always did it. You could always get something better, but you give up the old one. But to say, okay, we can give you the kids free dining offer, but you're still eligible for something else down the road. So just because the kids have free dining doesn't mean that you can't get, some kind of a ticket offer or some kind of a length of stay offers, some kind of a room discount later. This is almost, I'm not saying it's unprecedented, but it's aggressive. And, we've always said this, that competition is good for the consumer. And this is just, this is step one. This is showing that we all win with competition. So we should all be happy, even as Disney fans, even if you don't like Epic, hey, this is how we're coming out ahead a little bit, even if you're not even going to step foot in that park.
Well, there we go. And on that note, have a lovely evening.
You too, buddy. And hey, I'm so glad I could talk to you. Hey, it's so good to talk to you, man. It's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, thanks for doing some earlier shows for us. It works out really good.
I will when I can. I appreciate you, buddy. You take care.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's get to the next call while we got him here. And we have another caller. Hey, who's joining us? Hello, caller. What's going on?
Hi, it's Cindy calling from Toronto with Anna.
Hey, Cindy, what's going on, Anna? What's going on today? And good luck to your Leafs in the playoffs up there.
How are things going with you guys?
Hey, we're doing all right. Our Blues down 1-0 to the Jets, but we'll rally tonight. We'll see.
Excellent. Well, good luck to you.
Thanks.
I was just calling in to kind of echo what Mohawk was saying, because we're calling in from Toronto, obviously.
Yes.
We were going to be going down. Anna doesn't know this, but we were going to be going down in June, but had to cancel it because of the turmoil in the States and the cost of the dollar for us. And
Yeah.
so I agree that they are going to have to come out of the gates a little bit harder to bring in the international fares, right?
Yeah, and so, and I hate this. I mean, because the one thing about our community that I love about when I'm talking about our community, I'm talking about our podcast community, is that
Right.
we are so lucky that we have such a large international presence. When you go over to our clubhouse, I mean, it's like, I feel like, and I know it's not, but I tell my wife this all the time. I feel like it's like 50-50 people from outside the States. And I love it because I don't even have a passport, but it's like my view to the world. Cause I get to have friends from like I say, Canada and Scotland and Ireland and, it's crazy. Australia, Japan, like England, it's wild. And I'm so lucky because my world is so much bigger because of the podcast. But I will say that, I understand it. I 100% understand where everybody's coming from because of the uncertainty, the economy of the world, the politics of the world. We never talk about, because I just want this to always be an escape so we can talk about the fun stuff, because God knows you got enough of the bad stuff everywhere else. And this is kind of the fun place. But, I get it. And I think that Disney's got two ways to look at this. Like, one is that they can really try to just draw from the domestic audience, from the people in the States. And I think they're going to do that, right? And try to maybe, like we say after September 11th, right? When people were scared to fly, what did they do? They really tried to draw from people like in the southeastern part of the country, and say like,
That's right.
look, like
Absolutely.
it's really cool to come here, especially if you live in Georgia or the Carolinas or, Alabama, because you can drive, you just have to do what you
drive away. Exactly.
Right. But I mean, the international guests, to me, here's what I say about it real quick. It's not as fun to be at Walt Disney World if you're not there with people from around the world. Because like Epcot is best when you hear all the accents and you get the international experience. And it's not just the cast members, it's the other guests to me.
I agree. I think that enhances your experience for sure. Because if you're sitting there, let's say you're sitting by the UK, you're sitting down having some fish and chips right in front of the, I can't remember the place of the restaurant. But you're sitting there and all of a sudden you hear somebody with a British accent, or you hear somebody with an Irish accent, and you get to hear their point of view. Oh, this isn't like home at all, or
Exactly.
It's exactly like home.
This is terrible. I'm like, oh, right. This is terrible. I've never been to England, but yeah, this is whatever. I hate it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And sitting in the Canada pavilion, like listening to these people say, oh, do they have totem poles everywhere in Canada? Just stuff like that. Because it's funny for me because, we don't.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think the international experience is something that you can't duplicate. And I really think that it's nice to see that Disney's trying to reach out, trying to, bring people of different countries into the United States, at least to Disney, to try and keep that enhancement going. And, I've had quite a few friends that had to cancel trips this summer, all because of the political turmoil, which I hate going into because I'm not a political person at all. But, it's sad to see that it's affecting people's joy, if that makes sense.
No, I get it. And, but the thing is, I'm so glad that we have this, it's like a little escape that we can all just love on each other and, talk about the good things, like we created that memory lane channel in the clubhouse, and I'm like looking back and like, oh my gosh, there's even the better days than we thought, like looking back at like the 90s and the 2003 and, Walt Disney World and stuff like that. But now let me ask you this though. Okay. Just generally speaking, with the package release and with that offer, the kids dining plan, is that something that, is that like under normal circumstances, let's take all the other junk out of the picture. Would that be a needle mover for you? Because you do have it, like, my kids are old, so I'm kind of out of luck, but what about you? Like, would that be something that would possibly move the needle for you?
I don't think it would move the needle for me. Like, we've already got trips planned to come down. Like, I'm going down in February for a business trip or for a coaching trip. And then we're coming down in March anyhow. So, it's just, I think by then everything's going to calm down anyway. So I'm not pulling back on any of my 2026 trips. But the dining plan, I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but I think that they're going to do more for like the Canadian tickets and a little bit more on sale for that point of view. I'm hoping that they keep the water park thing going for next year. That would be great.
It looks like they are. Now they did announce, they announced that they are. It said summer, which, that's interesting because it was all year this year in 2025, right? But for 2026, they said they're bringing it back for the summer, which makes sense, right? Most people are going to want to use it in the summer, but to me, this is me thinking like maybe too hard as like some kind of Disney dork, but I'm thinking, okay, if you're going to offer it in the summer, offer it year round, because if you're going to offer it in the summer, that's going to be the busiest time. So why not offer it the whole year? Because that's going to be the hardest time to offer it. The most used time is going to be in the summer. Everybody's going to want to go to the water parks in the summer. So why not? Well, maybe not though, because it's Florida. Maybe I'm thinking as a Midwesterner. I only want to go to the pool in the summer here in Missouri because it's warm here. Okay. Maybe in Florida in January, or maybe in February and March, that's the time to go to, that's probably it. It's probably prime time to go to the water parks, maybe in February and March. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you don't go to water parks
from Canada.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking about you don't go to water parks in Missouri in March and April here because it's too dang cold. But in Florida, pretty sweet. Yeah. Okay, maybe okay, that's what it is. Maybe that's the deal. But again, I think Mohawk made a good point. You start somewhere, but you can always expand. You can always say, guess what though? We're gonna make this better and try to see, throw out a crumb and see what if the fish bite. And if they don't bite, put a little more out there. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think there's more offers to come. I really do. But the dining plan for kids, I think it's a great deal. If you have multiple kids, I think it'd be phenomenal for you. But I only have one, so it won't move the needle for me one way or the other.
Yeah. But, plus, you have these families with multiple kids, and it is, feeding kids is not cheap. But think about it from Disney's point of view though, because every one of those kids has to have a ticket. You got to have a ticket to have a dining plan, and
they have to have a parent go with them.
100%, and the parent has to have a dining plan, and so the parent has to have the full price dining plan, and everybody's got to have a ticket. Because remember, the deal is with Disney, just so everybody knows, everybody in the room has to have the same ticket and has to have the same dining plan. So it's not like the kids can have a quick service dining plan and the adults can have a standard, or the opposite. The adults can have the quick service and the kids can have the standard. Everybody's got to have the same thing. So but it's still, something free is still free. You're still paying for something, but it's still, you're not paying for whatever the kid's getting for free. So.
And it's that illusion that Disney's giving, because really they're not losing out on a lot of money, right?
Right.
So it's that illusion of we're giving you something for free, and that makes it more enticing to people. So, to take off, let's say, $10 a ticket, now starting at $100, it's enticing, right? So it's all of that sale. But I think you guys are on the right path. I think there's more to come. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited actually for 2026. I think things will settle down, and I think hopefully Disney will rebound, because I know this year they had a lot of cancellations, and I know the numbers are down, but hopefully they can bounce back. Hopefully.
Well, what I'm excited to see, more than anything, the offer's good. I think this is a really good offer to start. But the thing is that there is an offer out of the gates. So that means that it's not stubborn Disney. It's not like we're Disney and we're too good to, because we haven't done this in the past. We cannot, like a dogma thing. We cannot have an offer for the first 3 months of the booking year. It's just, we don't do that. We're Disney. They see, okay, these are times.
Had to. Yeah.
Right. But, they say, hey, this is how it has to be right now. We're going to have to put an offer out there. And so I like that. And like you say, this is going to be maybe just an aggressive year, maybe 18 months, maybe 2 years. I don't know how long who knows how tomorrow's going to look. Nobody knows about that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, but as a consumer, I think that, if we want to travel and travel is tough, if you have the means, I think this could be a good time to travel. We're going to get offers. So I think that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, for sure.
All right.
But anyway, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. This is my first time calling in, so I'm very excited about that.
I love it.
Thank you for letting me be a part.
Hey, always. And I love you over in the clubhouse, a great part of the community, and appreciate you, Cindy, and tell your daughter we said hello, and good luck to the Leafs.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. My husband's very happy.
Hey, they beat the Sens the other night. They whooped them, so keep it going.
They did. But they can't rest on their laurels.
No,
We'll see
you
what
can't.
happens.
Trust me. No, not in the Stanley Cup playoffs. All right, you take care.
You too. Take care. Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we got one more call, and I think we got, let's see, one more coming in here, and we got another call. Hey, who's joining us?
Trust me, not in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Nope, we got somebody coming back. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. It's Alfred.
Hey, Alfred, what's up? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
So
Happy
what do you got?
Easter Monday.
Yes, happy Easter Monday to you.
Yeah. So here's my thought about Epic and Disney. Yes, it is definitely a part of the whole scheme that they need to get people back to Disney. I also think that this past year they saw very low occupancy, and I think they're hurting and they feel it. So what's the way to do this is start putting out deals. Even Disneyland, the deals are unbelievable. I would never have thought there would have been these deals for the 70th celebration. But they're there, and they're going through, I forget what it was, September maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
I mean, they want to get you to these destinations, and they will offer things to get you out there, and it's an exciting time if you want to travel for sure.
But I think the company as a whole is hurting. So they need to figure out how can they come back. And I think it's by putting out all these deals. So I think that's first. Epic is definitely second, but I think it's more than just Epic at this point.
I think it's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, it's probably just the turmoil and the uncertainty of the economy, right? First, I agree with you, but I mean, it's also Epic being there too, because people are going to be curious to go over there. But I think Abby, leading off the show, brought up a good point. Like, think about this. Okay, they probably, obviously they had tons of meetings, right? I always picture some kind of big boardroom, right? Like it's one big meeting or something, but I'm sure it's a bunch of Zoom calls and all that stuff or what. I'm not a business person, but they probably said, well, these people are going to come, but they got to stay somewhere, and a lot of them are going to stay at Helios. A lot of them are, the new hotel over there. Right. They're going to stay at Portofino or, wherever. There's a lot of cool hotels, but a lot of them are going to be Disney fans that are going to want to check this out. So I think a lot of them are going to stay. And so give them a reason to stay in our hotels. And if they're in our hotels, that's 75% of the battle. We're going to get them to come to our theme parks. They're going to eat in our restaurants. They're going to spend money on site. So get them in our first thing, get them in our hotels. I think that was like number one. What do we want? Get them in our hotels.
Right. Next thing I think though, that also is that ticket prices are so high, they have to kind of alleviate that somehow. So now it'll be interesting to see. They did this dining promotion for kids. What's the next step? There has to be more to entice the adults. So maybe the resort discounts now.
I mean, that'll be
on top of it.
And that'll be what they probably do next would be maybe a hotel room discount, like later. Wouldn't probably be off the bat. That'll be kind of something later on, but you're right.
Right.
Because obviously first thing is families. They're going after families first. Cause you don't have kids if you're not kids aren't traveling by themselves 3 to 9. So they're not checking in by themselves. So that's a family offer. But it is kind of funny because Disney was the one thing they never, ever typically discounted were tickets. Tickets were like always the thing that cost a lot of money, and you could hardly get a deal on them anywhere. Even if you bought them third party, you barely got a discount. You got a little, but not much. But this past couple of months, 3 months, they've had that 50% off ticket offer for kids, and they had that 3-park ticket where you couldn't go to the Magic Kingdom. They started discounting tickets. I mean, so we are kind of we're in unprecedented times when it comes to offers. So it's kind of. We'll see what this offers. What comes up.
I think they do have to just lower the price of tickets now. If they're going to want people to come, they have to take that, say, $150 ticket per day and make it maybe $100 a day. They're not losing much money overall, but they're going to get more people in.
Yeah.
So they have to think in this way of how to market themselves to get the people in at this point.
Personally, I don't think they'll ever drop the ticket price. I don't think they'll ever do that. They'll never drop the daily ticket price because I think that would be like seen as a loss to them. But what they would do, and I think Mohawk Scotland over in the chat's got the idea, way back in the day, a long time ago in the States, they offered a buy 4, get 7 days on your tickets. Because I remember doing that. I did that for a couple trips and it was sweet. Yeah. You got 7 days of tickets for the price of 4. And right now over in the UK, they have an offer. If you live in the UK, you buy a 7-day ticket, you get 14 days. That's a steal.
That's great for them.
Oh, saying, dude, it's almost like moving. That's a great deal. If you're a Disney fan, man,
that's the point. Then it becomes.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
It becomes 50% off for them.
Well, it doesn't become 50% off though, because remember that 7 to 14 days is like dirt cheap. Like the tickets are front loaded. The tickets are so front loaded. Those additional days on the back end are not as expensive. Yeah. It seems like it, but it's not. It's a great deal. Don't get me. No, it's a good deal. But remember, not every it's not like every, you can't say like, okay, every day is the exact same. Day 1 to day 2 is a huge amount. But like if you go for like on our tickets from day 9 to day 10, it's like $2. You know what I'm saying? The first day is like $100. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. I heard a rumor, so I wanted to know if you know anything. Are they changing something with Cars Land in Magic Kingdom?
You mean the plan?
Is it happening?
I
don't know about it.
We had this discussion on Friday. We put the odds on it. Are they making changes to that plan? I don't know. I would say no. I would say they're not. But they have cover to do it now because of like the tariffs and the turmoil in the economy. Yeah. But I would say they're not going to make changes. They're going to go right along with it. But
I'm wondering if they're going to keep Rivers of America and just make it smaller and compensate with Cars Land for the other part of it. Because I feel like there's a lot of outrage about getting rid of Rivers of America. So how can they fix that and make people happy again? And I think make a smaller Cars Land and a smaller Rivers of America.
There is outrage, but I think it's from a very vocal minority, which I'm not like just screaming about it, but I love Rivers of America. Mm-hmm. I would love to see Rivers of America stay because it's beautiful, but I don't think they really care because I think it's a huge, huge minority of the overall picture. It's just the very vocal part that are huge fans that are on social media, which I'm one of those people that would love to have it stay because I can't imagine. It's so pretty and I love the Liberty Bell. If it stays, I'd be so happy. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful
it should
scene
stay.
And it really makes it feel.
Yeah, it makes it
magical.
Feel exactly. I mean, at night it's just like calm. It's calm all the time, but it's just. I mean, even at like park opening in the morning, you walk through there and it's like just a reflective piece of like it's like a mirror. It's just glass before the boat goes. It's like a storybook picture when you walk through and you see the. But what they're going to counter with is real quick. Cars Land though is going to have water through it and streams and stuff. That's what they'll say. So go ahead. Anyway, last thing. Yeah. Because I got to get off here because we got to do 2 more shows.
Yeah, I know.
My voice is going to be toast. Yeah, exactly. I know it's going to be like 30 minutes and we're rolling to almost an hour. Go ahead.
Here's my last point. I feel also they need to move a little quicker with the new stuff they're putting in. They can't take 5 years.
I'm with you on that.
They have to try to do it in 1 to 2.
First ding of the day right there. Amen. Forever I've said that. But I mean, here's the other thing. I mean, I've always wondered this. Like, how many construction workers are there in Orlando? Because, they're always, like Epic's building all this stuff. And, there's got to be other people have to be building, they're always building. I always get stuck in traffic wherever I go in Orlando. So they're building roads everywhere around that place. They're always building hotels, not just Disney and, Universal. There's regular hotels being built. They got to be building doctor's offices and, I don't know, restaurants and Chick-fil-A's and, Burger Kings. I don't know. I mean,
so pull them and build theme parks.
There's only got to be so many people that can build stuff. I mean, that's why it amazes me that they have enough workers down there to build all this stuff like that fast. So you're right. They should be building it fast enough, but I don't know how to get enough workers. Yeah. It's crazy, like logistically.
Look, Walt built Disneyland in what? less than a year.
It was voodoo. It was
whole
magic.
park?
I don't know.
It
How did
wasn't
he do
finished,
that? I don't know how that happened. That's craziness to me.
But it was done.
I know.
This is the point.
Yeah.
And look, at Epic was what, 3 years they put the whole park in?
That's voodoo too. I don't know how that.
Meanwhile,
you're right.
one attraction at Disney is taking 5 years.
Hey, don't tell me. I know.
Not good.
You're right. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. I got you.
I get very passionate about it because there is so much they can do, but they don't do it fast enough.
No, I get you.
And even like when they canceled all those attractions, you know, the Mary Poppins section of Epcot and all these things that they were going to do that never happened, it's because they can't figure out a timeline, I feel. It's not all about the money. They make the money. They could pay for this stuff. And they could do it all. I just don't understand how they're thinking. You know, I think they need some of us Disney fans working there.
They need
kind of light a fire under them.
They need a leader like Early Eisner, you know, that's like really into the theme parks and that's really visionary and that is willing to take chances on the parks. Like that is, you know, I don't think, you know, I'm not even into the whole business part of things. I don't know if I like Iger or not because I just don't. I'm not into that stuff. I just go to the theme parks and enjoy them. I don't read into that stuff. But
I feel Iger was good at the beginning, but then when they brought him back, he wasn't as good anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't comment on it because I don't feel like I'm educated enough to share an opinion on that. Because I just if I don't have it, you know, good research or anything like that, I don't like to share an opinion. But Eisner felt like he really wanted to have, like when he built the studios, he wanted to have an answer to Universal, and he really went in and he did something that was really cool. And he built the hotels. He wanted to have a hotel presence, and he did that. We need somebody visionary like that.
7 years, less than 7 years.
Yeah, the Disney decade. We need a second Disney decade.
From the time of Epcot to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, it can be done. That's my point. And the other thing, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he said they need to do a fifth gate. Forget about all this adding attractions, closing something, adding something. Build new and get the people there.
We'll see. That'd be something. If they announce that, boy, we'd have a big show that night. I promise you that.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one. All right. Well, hey, I got to scoop because we got to do 2 more shows, and I got to get set for that. But good call, Alfred. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. Talk to you, buddy. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, hey, what a show. Jason also in the chat here, my good friend down in Celebration, says, I think people hear Cars Land and think of Radiator Springs at Disneyland, but concept art shows a more national park feel to the land, which will include plenty of water features like waterfalls, rivers, etc. I agree with that because I've seen the concept art and it is going to have waterfalls, streams, you know, rivers, stuff like that. So it will have that. It's not going to be an arid desert. So I think it'll be okay. I don't think we're going to totally be. Guys, I'm nostalgic. I have a hard time with change. When my wife gets salami instead of turkey, I freak out. So just understand that it's Mike Rallman. So I love you. And I understand, like I'm when you guys say, hey, bring on Cars Land, I'm totally with you. I get that you guys all want new stuff and I'm fine. I'm fine. I just try to be, and you guys are fine with me. I feel like we're always in a safe place here, that you guys don't hate on me if I'm nostalgic and I say I want to hold on to something from the past. I feel like you don't hate on me if I say that. I always give my honest opinion with you guys. But will I get on that new Cars attraction when it comes on? Have I told you how much I love Cars Land at Disneyland? It's my favorite place in any theme park in the world. Cars Land at Disneyland. Oh, give me the Shaboom. Give me the Cozy Cone. Give me Radiator Springs Racers. Give me Luigi's little cars. Oh my gosh, it's the best. So yeah, I'll enjoy whatever's there. I just like talking about this kind of stuff. Anyways, we had fun today, a little European special, because I couldn't be here Sunday night because of the my unexpected hotel stay over the weekend, which was not 5 stars, I will say. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We're going to have 2 more shows if you're tuned in live here on Monday. We're going to have listener questions, and we're going to do a draft show. So Ricky and Pam are going to join me in about an hour. So come on back for that. We'd love to have you be a part of that fun. But until then, Don't forget, shows brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your 2025 or 2026 Walt Disney World vacation package or Disneyland. That's not open yet, so just chill out on that. Disneyland's always later. It'll probably be this summer. But Disney cruises, even Adventures by Disney trips. All you got to do is swing by the Magic for Less website over at themagicforless.com. We have increased booking incentives for those people that are adding dining packages to those 2026 packages. So you got to add a dining package to get the increased booking bonus. But even if you don't, you get a booking bonus incentive. Everybody gets those with packages as well. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Please click through there. It supports us each and every purchase. And become a patron. You guys can support the show. $5 a month helps support our podcast. This stuff is super expensive, but it really helps pay the bills. And we can keep these shows coming 3-4 a week, and it really does help us get it going. So again, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. And we have that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Missed it this last week because I was going to record it on Saturday because of Easter. Couldn't do it because of the hospital stay, but we'll have one this week, I promise you. So again, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give me a follow on social media at BeOurGuestMike on X, Instagram, and Threads. And we'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night with Scotty G. So join us 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And finally, join us in the clubhouse where the conversation goes 24/7, 365 at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse, free for everybody. And it is the best place in the world to talk Disney. All right, we're going to be back again on Friday with more fun Disney talk. It should be. Let me see if I can get it queued up. That sound you know and love. It's the 10 notes that you're going to hear a lot if you're a sports fan this weekend. It gets Jason. I know Jason's like, woo, woo, when he hears that. We're going to have some fun with a draft for you to kind of tie in with the weekend, the NFL draft. So come on back for some more fun on the feed tomorrow if you're listening to this on Thursday. So appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me here on a Monday afternoon. And thanks for all the kind words as I was out of commission over the weekend. You guys are truly, truly the best. I can't tell you how much you guys mean to me. All right, you guys take care. And you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.